All right, so we get to the point of where, on that album, which is a surprise, because suddenly you were being hailed through the last two albums and the last three albums as a singer-songwriter, especially a songwriter.
Yeah.
And you started to sort of put other people's songs, and of all people, the Rolling Stones would spend the night together on that album. Can I ask why?
I always thought it was a good song. And the other band, it was a throwaway thing.
Well, what about the classic track, Jean Genie, which you've performed?
Oh, that was, yeah, that for me, that was Motor City. I mean, yeah. And we just keep taking over from each other, not listening to what the other person did before.
But surely
just knowing the foundations and the premise that we were working on, how many beats there were,
right.
whatever. But not listening to
the low thing, you were still in yourself, you must have been, because
I had done
some weird
things.
sounds.
I had done, yeah, I had done an awful. It wasn't as though it's a new thing to me. It was nice to work with Brian, but I had been doing cut-ups, musical cut-ups and word cut-ups for a long time, going way back. Just started on Aladdin Sane, but it came to its full-on Diamond Dogs, where that was
explain very briefly the Burroughs system that you used on that.
It was taking three different points of view of any given subject. You have one subject, and you look at it from three different perspectives, and then you intercut the different perspectives. And you do that logistically. You just take sentences and cut the sentences up. And that sounds like very free form and a shambles. I think the actual writing ability comes in. It's how you're going to use the information that you get out of it. You can do some dreadful cut-ups if you don't know what you're doing.
All right, Young Americans, which I thought was a great album, and obviously you don't like it. You call it your plastic sort of soul period.
I was getting a bit cynical.
And Fame, especially with John Lennon.
Yeah.
Which became another classic. Do you like Fame?
The record?
Yes. The song?
I don't know. Yes, I guess so. I've played it so many times live that it sort of, there's a point where you... That's why I stopped touring after a bit, because if I'm not enjoying doing the material anymore...
Have you heard John
It's
Lennon's
unfair
music?
on everybody around me, including the audience. I've got to be enjoying it.
Station to Station was an album in between, but still had a great effect on everyone.
That was a yearning to get back to Europe, very definitely. There's an awful lot of European influence musically on it.
Right. And then, of course, in '77 was with Eno, going into a lot of electronics, and you seemed to cut down your lyrics a lot with Low.
Yeah.
And it was sort of...
I kept them very precise.
Yeah.
There was very little imagery in the lyrics. The imagery came in the music.
Right.
I focused more attention onto the complexities and the textures of the music, and let that do the talking more.
With Heroes, the title track itself, as much as you obviously don't like disco, actually did become a disco track. Did that appall you?
No, because the piece of music itself is not,
Lodger was an interesting album because it was a new David Bowie again. It sort of came out of the Low Heroes period.
The most interesting thing about it is that it still used the textures of Low and Heroes, but it applied more to a conservative kind of melodic line, to a strong melody form, which then, of course, evolved into the Scary Monsters.
Right, which at that stage it seemed strange. You'd done those film clips and you did three in all, Boys, DJ,
Look Back in Anger.
Look Back in Anger.
Yeah.
And it looked like a new David Bowie, back on the scene and excited. And then I did the interview with you, and you'd been away on a safari and locked yourself away back in Montreux. And I didn't know what to think, you know. What was David Bowie like at that time? I mean,
very quiet. It still is very quiet.
Were you satisfied with that album, though?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was... I think I like it. No, it's hard to say. I changed day to day. Right. But those three mean an awful lot to me.
Were you satisfied with the images that were put over on those three films?
Oh, yes, I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay. And Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, you don't know anyone like that, do you?
I've known a few people like that.
Yeah?
Quite a lot, in fact.
It's sort of like a childhood sort of cartoon title.
Yeah.
And yet it's a pretty frightening song.
Well, I did get the title from the Kellogg's. Sorry, Kellogg's, it might not be you, but it's one of those kinds of things. Right. Some cereal packet.
To get things done, you better not mess with Major Tom. Did your mum ever say not to go into the rock industry?
No, that comes from... da-da-da-da-da, a rubber dolly. That kind of...
Right.
It was one of a nursery rhyme thing I just wanted to use. The nursery rhymes always, for me, especially the old Victorian ones, have that. Tissue, all fall down. Well, sure, I mean, that was about the plague. I mean, most nursery rhymes have a horrendous sort of background.
Yeah, they're pretty frightening.
And this one had the same nursery rhyme quality about it.
Maria Schell said that I think he's going to be a very great actor.
She's lovely.
She did say that, and she's a great actress. So, actor, I mean, what's in store for David Bowie after Elephant Man?
Well, I keep saying I want to direct, but I'm not doing very much about it. The couple of the video things I think are a good start.
Right.
And The Ashes to Ashes was the first one that I directed.
Fashion's an interesting song because you produced and wrote for Mott the Hoople. And the dudes are sort of about fashion, I guess, you know?
Yeah, it was.
And